Hey folks, Nas here. Another episode of Medieval Dynasty in our challenge season. Got some folks over here using our new stools. I haven't yet seen anybody come up and light a campfire in the evenings. So apparently I'm going to probably have to be the one lighting those when I think about it, which probably won't be very often. But the kids come out and they're standing out front waiting for mom and pop and everybody to come out and go to work. So anyway, there was a update that dropped yesterday as of this recording. And I noticed a lot of different changes. So, I mean, from the most part, they changed or added new sounds. They've added some animals. They've fixed some issues and stuff that was happening in the game. I'm not going to go through everything that they did, but I am going to go through some items that affect us in the challenge season. So the crops, they have allowed the workers to have more than one worker working the same crop, the same plot of land, which is good. Apparently they have modified the amount of items that you get from certain crops. I don't know if they've done it straight across the board or if there were just certain crops that you get more items from when harvesting them. Something else I noticed was that I don't necessarily think it was mentioned in the update, but I did notice it. So let's come over here to the cauldron. Let's see, is this it? Yeah, so the potage, you can see there it takes 4 cabbage and 3 meat now. So it used to be, I believe, 1 cabbage, 1 meat. So now it's almost 4 times as much cabbage and 3 times as much meat to make 1 potage. And then now it also requires wooden bowls. So you can see there below the meat, it says 1 wooden bowl. Which is, you know, it's not the end of the world, but it's adding some extra difficulty to the challenge for sure. Because we have to go out and make sure that we are definitely hunting enough meat. And then, of course, we're utilizing more cabbage at a time. Now, I don't know if the more cabbage that we might be getting from harvesting the crop is going to even that out. Are we going to get possibly 4 times as much cabbage from the crops than normal, or are we only getting double, or is there a percentage kind of a thing? It just basically mentioned that some of those items had been increased from harvesting. And then also, if you go into skills, so I've had to replace all of my skills because they've changed a lot of the skills in the skill tree. But if you go into hunting, then you can go down here to careful hunter. Now you see I've put 3 of 3 in here. This is also to help offset the need to do extra hunting because of the extra meat required for some of these cooking recipes. But with the 3 of 3 in careful hunting, I've got a 50% bigger chance for additional resources extracted from animals. So hopefully you're going to be getting more meat on a more regular basis from the animals, but it's not necessarily 3 times as much meat like what was required for the potage. So those are going to be interesting things to see and find out with the game. Let's see here. We also make stew. So the stew now has changed as well. So you can see there on the screen, it now only takes 2 carrots where it used to take 3 carrots. And now it takes 2 meat instead of 1. And then, of course, it also requires a wooden bowl. So what we might do is we might actually make more stew instead of pottage until we make sure that we're not going to be running out of food by making pottage, because it requires more meat and more cabbage. Because I really don't want to increase how much cabbage I'm getting. Now, granted, I can reduce the cabbage and increase the carrot, because I think that we would still be fine with stew over pottage. Does stew... Wait a minute. How much... I don't know if the... Where's it at? Where is tavern? It's porridge. Pottage. Okay, that's what I'm looking for right there. So, the pottage gives you 30 food. The stew only gives you 25. What is soup? The soup gives you 35. Oh, it requires beetroot. We're not growing beetroot. Meat and gravy is small potatoes. Oh, meat and gravy is 30. Okay, I thought meat and gravy used to be a much smaller value. But that requires roasted meat, which isn't a big deal. We can grow onions, but it takes 5 onions. Okay. It's not too bad. Gruel, 20. Porridge, 20. So we're still going to stick with the pottage and the stew. We can adjust the crops if we need to. Because let's go in to look at management. Let's go to the fields. So we've got 10 carrot, 24 carrot, and 21 carrot. So what's that? That's 45, 55 little plots of carrot going. And then cabbage, we've got 21 and 12. That's 33 plus 15, 48. So we do actually have more cabbage than we do carrot. So we're probably going to be okay. Now I noticed that they did not increase, or it doesn't appear that they increased how much food value the food gives you. They just increased what it takes to make it. I've still got to fix that hole in that food storage. So, also, let's see here. There was some other stuff that I had wanted to go. Oh, so the bowls. What I'm thinking about doing, because I have people that do not have jobs. Actually, I think it's just her, because everybody else is a child. And I've only got what appears to be one mother left. Alright, so I've got one. Siegfrieda does not have a job. So what I'm thinking about doing is actually putting her on the workshop. Now, I can't have villagers crafting items to sell, but I can have them craft items for food. And now that we need wood bowls to make the pottage and the stew, clearly have to fix this building as well, then I believe I can put her on the workbench and she can craft us our bowls right there. Now, something else that they also have added to the game is more text, as you can see, for the description in the center of the crafting wheel. Tells you that you don't, it tells you in blue that you don't have the schematic unlocked, but you can also purchase the schematic apparently by hitting R. So it tells you to buy the schematic. It's 350 coin. It shows you how much coin you've got. I've got 4720. But we're going to need to start crafting these wood bowls. So I'm going to purchase that. So see there, we purchased that just by pressing R, which is really nice. That way we didn't have to go into technology and hunt up the schematic and look at all the different buildings trying to find it, because we didn't know which one it was. So now we have that schematic, and we can actually put somebody down here and start crafting wooden bowls. Because we'll just use the wooden bowls for the pottage. Now, what I'm curious of is, once the pottage is consumed, is the bowl consumed as well? Because I don't know whether that is a thing or not. So, I have pottage on me, but it's pottage that was crafted before a bowl was required. So if I eat one of these, for some reason I'm going to think it does not give me a bowl back. Yeah, see, it just said consume potage, and I don't have a bowl in my inventory. So what I want to do is let's craft a bowl, and let's check and see if we get a bowl back. Just one log is all we need to craft a bowl. Before I do that, I want to start putting somebody on crafting bowls. So let's go here. Let's go down to the workshop. Let's hit F. We're going to assign a worker. Yeah, Siegfrieda. Yeah, everybody's like a 2 or 1. Oh, yeah, she's a 4. But she's also a 4 in field work. But I have an innkeeper here. I may have to rework some of this. All right, let's go ahead and we'll just put Siegfrieda on there for now. Because I don't know how many bowls we really need to be producing. Now, can she produce the bowl? Yeah, there they are right there, wooden bowl. So let's start having her produce bowls. Are you kidding me? It's going to take her forever to produce bowls. Okay, we may have to produce bowls on our own. And not to mention, you get... Okay, so let's do this. Let's go craft the bowl real quick. I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself here. So we're going to do this. We're going to craft this bowl. So it takes 1 log to craft 1 bowl, which in my mind is we're horrible crafters if it takes us an entire log to craft 1 bowl. 1 log, 1 bowl. That's it. That does not seem right. Now, I could see where maybe, okay, you take 1 log and you can craft 5 bowls out of 1 log. That, in my mind, makes more sense. It just, because you get, I mean, you chop down a tree, you get anywhere from 2 to 5 logs. If you take the stump, you get a log when you take the stump as well. But yeah, you get anywhere from like 2 to 5 logs out of trees. Depending on whether you take the stump and what tree you chop down and stuff like that. But you get 1 bowl out of that huge log. Okay, let's even say this: 3 bowls. Let's say it takes 3 bowls. You can get 3 bowls out of 1 log. But if you're crafting stuff and this is your way of life, that's horrible. You're horrible at crafting stuff. You need to stop and just go to town and buy it. But anyway, let's take our bowl. Now, let's go see about making some potage. We'll make the new potage. Let's see here. Do I have any on me that's 100%? I don't think so. No, we're 25. Okay, so I just wanted to make sure we'd be able to tell which one was the new and which one was not the new. Now, let's see if we have any cabbage. Something else they did. You can see here that when things are getting down and they're fixing to rot, they got a little red condition number next to them and stuff. Okay, so it was 4 cabbage, right? And 3 meat. I think I've already got meat on me. Yeah, I do. Okay. All right, now let's head back over here and craft this up here. Yep, so we can make one of those. So let's craft one of those. It also tells us in the crafting circle how long it's going to take. So they did add that as well. So you can see there, potage is 5.6 seconds. And now let's go and eat the new potage. Now, is there anything different in the description for the new and the old? No, the only thing different is the freshness. Okay. So let's consume this, and we do not get a bowl back, which I think is a little bit interesting as well. So, I mean, when you go out to eat, do you eat your dinnerware? You know, you just eat the potage and throw it on the ground and it just disappears. Okay. A few things that they've added that I disagree with. I like that they're adding this. I don't mind that they're adding the need for more cabbage or more meat. I don't even mind that they're adding the need for the bowl. But one log, one bowl. That, in my mind, does not make sense. Like I mentioned, at least 3 bowls out of one log, I think, would be adequate. Potage, or anything that requires a plate or a bowl for the food, why are you not able to reuse those bowls? Why are they consumed? You know? So let me use an example. So a completely different game. I've been doing some 7 Days to Die videos, if you guys have seen those. And they have food items in the game that are canned items. So then you can eat what's in the can, and of course it gives you different food values and hunger values and stuff like that. But the can is not consumed. You actually get to keep the can, because then you can use the can for something else. So either you can scrap the can and get whatever material out of the can, or or if there's a recipe that requires you to use a can, you have the can after consuming what was inside it. It's that same mechanic, and maybe they will, maybe they've got this already in the idea. They're just starting to implement this slowly. But I would have to say, from the standpoint of this challenge, that's probably my biggest annoyance, I would probably say. Because I've seen it mentioned before about other items, even before they're really required, like when decorative things were being produced. Having the amount that was produced from like one log is just very minimal. I think the 1-to-1 for the bowls is silly. But anyway, so there's my gal there. I don't know that she's really doing much. Let's see. So what else? So, the recurve bow. So let's go down here. Hunting lodge. So the recurve bow. Now they didn't lower or change the value for the schematic, but they did change how many linen thread and stuff it requires to make the recurve bow. So it used to be 6 linen thread. Now it's 4 linen thread. And the previous Medieval Dynasty video I did before this one actually went through and discussed in depth the difference between buying the recurve bow for the quest and making the recurve bow for the quest, and how many times that we would have had to make the recurve bow for a quest before we actually see savings coming back to us in buying the schematic, because the schematic is 1,500 coin. So now, because you need 2 less thread for the recurve bow, that means it's going to be approximately 250 coins cheaper than before to make the recurve bow, as opposed to buying it, even with your purchase buff. So if we go again into skills, I believe, diplomacy, barter. So they have this barter here, and you can see I put 2 points out of 3 into it. So we're currently at 20% better selling and buying prices. Now, they did have 2 separate skills, and they've combined the 2 into 1. So you did have 1 skill that was for selling and 1 skill that was for buying. So I like the fact that they have combined the skills into 1 and called it barter. That to me makes complete sense, rather than having 2 separate skills. So now we're going to be getting 20%, and the next point gets us 40% better selling and buying prices, which are really good. Granted, we don't have anything in tax optimization right now, and I might take one out of barter and get one in tax optimization, just to help with taxes and stuff. Now, I didn't notice that taxes had changed or anything in any of the update information they put out. And you can see all this update information on the Medieval Dynasty page in Steam. It's just below the little play button there in Steam, to where you can see everything that they did. They added a bunch of sounds. They added some new animals, different mechanics and things like that. So it's a big update for sure. But as far as how the update affects the challenge is basically all I wanted to cover. And those were the few items that I had noticed that really affected our challenge season. So let's see here. Do I not have a hammer? Oh wait, I left the hammer in here because I want to try and fix these buildings. Yeah, there's my hammer right there. Let's get some sticks while we're just sitting here chatting. Let's get some straw. That's probably plenty. Let's equip said hammer. Boom, there we go. So anyway, I just wanted to cover the items that were specifically, let's see, repair. There we go. Affecting us in the challenge season. Now, also, it requires you to have a point to upgrade buildings. So right here, the upgrade area, it actually requires you to have a point in upgrade. So apparently that particular, is it a skill? Yeah, skill. Where is it? I'm assuming here maybe. Building master. No, here? No. Where would it be? I know I saw it. I could have swore I saw it. Solid as a rock. Good host. Farming. Where did I see that? Strong arm. Seems like it would be here. Crafting expert. Faster crafting in the workshop or smithy. Cooking. Handyman. Oh, here it is. Handyman. They changed it. So upgrading and downgrading of house modules. So you have to have a point in here for when you are going to upgrade or obviously downgrade the walls and stuff on a house. So I went ahead and took a point in that because we are currently in year 5. We have to get through the next year 6 before we can upgrade again. But if I had, to repair certain things, I didn't want to mess it up by not having that point and not being able to repair the house properly. So I'm not sure if that is a thing or not. So this is wattle, so it's the very base model. I don't have to worry about upgrading it. But like on these houses, we've already upgraded to the wooden wall with the daub. So if I had to repair this, would I require the upgrade skill point in order to continue repairing this as an upgraded wall? Or would I repair it and it just be wattle? So that's something we won't know until, well, we won't know because I've already taken the point. Let's see here. Let's finish repairing this. Just, it's just the way my mind is working and stuff and thinking about things and stuff that they're adding. I've noticed that I've got to go around the map and repair all of my resource storages because they've all taken damage. There we go. Let's get this one over here. So anyway, well, I appreciate you folks joining me for this. We're going to call this an episode. I think we've covered most of the items that directly affect us in the challenge season in how we play the season and stuff like that. Of course, sounds and different animals don't really affect us too much right now, and different namings of animals and stuff. Because I think they've added a rooster or something like that, and a male goose or something. I don't know. I know that they've added a few different things like that. So anyway, make sure you hit that like button. Subscribe if you haven't. That way you don't miss any of these videos that I'm putting out. And we will see you folks in the next one. You take care and happy hunting.